if you asked me this question in 2018, I would have been a skeptic myself. Design is such a practice-based discipline. There are so many complex processes that are involved in design. How do you teach it in a remote online space? But now that we have been doing it with multiple batches over the last 3-4 years, I know that it can be done. So when we started to think about how to do this efficiently, effectively in an online space, we started listing what all does a learner go through in a studio. So a learner works hands-on. There is a real-world project that is there and they are continuously working on it. They are interacting with the faculty. The faculty is reviewing the work in progress constantly. The student collaborates with their peer. They work on group projects. There are discussions. There are debates. You will often find in a studio on a pin-up board a couple of students, a faculty bunched together, discussing the work, discussing the merits and demerits of it, what else could have been done, how else could we have approached this. That is the vibe of a studio, and that is what design learning has to be. It's an active environment in the studio, and we needed to recreate that in the online space. That is when technology came to our rescue, and a lot of research on methods and ways in which learning needs to be choreographed for our students.
We set up briefs very carefully to mimic real-world challenges. For example, in the residential design, we ask our students to actually go out and find real-life clients and real sites as well. The idea is that as a module progresses, the student interacts with the clients and gets their feedback to incorporate into the design process altogether. This helps in the selection of accessories, products, material selections, and only enriches the design process at the end. We actually use demo projects to introduce new concepts. So a student at any given point in time undertakes 2 projects, a demo project as well as their own project. The learners begin using Miro as a tool to collaborate and share their work with not only the faculty but also with their peers.
So at IIAD, with our graphic design course, we wanted to make sure that we could, make it as relevant to the actual industry practice as possible. We came across a lot of digital platforms and tools that allow us to make this remote working efficient. We use this tool called Miro, which is essentially like a virtual pin-up space. So if you look at any design school, you'll see that people keep, displaying their works on the walls and on pin-up board. So to be able to take that experience online, we use Miro. It allows our learners to put up their work. So as an instructor, even I can quickly drop, hop onto somebody's board, look at their work, drop a suggestion or a comment if required. It helps with working collaboratively. So if you're working on, say, a group task, which we do very often, then it makes working together very, very easy. There's a constant connection that these technologies enable in the course.
The UX/UI course at IIAD covers the entire landscape of designing the user experience of a digital product. We start with user research, cover information architecture, content management, all the way to interaction design and visual design. After completing this course, you can work as part of a user research team or a strategy team or a team that works on the visual design or a team that works on just the interaction design of the product. There are many possibilities, and as you progress in your career, you will find your own sweet spot and the area that you want to specialize in.
So after completing your interior design course with IIAD, you can go ahead and join an interior design firm or an architectural firm. You could actually even go ahead and assist an established architect. We also encourage you to open up your own practices. You would be able to design residential spaces, kitchens, commercial spaces, something like a cafe, an office space, a hotel room. Also, with the retail becoming digital, there are a lot of new opportunities that are coming up in the realm of interior design. For example, design for sales, mock setups, and this is all what an interior designer can actually do after completing a course with us.
So graphic design in today's time, I think, is one of the most versatile things to do. If you look at any and every business today, whether big or small again, everybody needs a graphic designer to come on board, right? As a graphic designer, the possibilities really are endless. You can work with a publication house where you're designing books and other printed material, get into brand identity design, you can get into promotion design, you could be creating communications for a company, right? What you choose to do with your learning from graphic design, it actually depends on what interests you more. So you can keep working as a graphic designer and keep exploring all of these possibilities that I spoke about. Or you can also specialize in, say, motion graphics or UI UX design.
I think each of our learners has a different reason for trusting us. But here's what I can share with you, that where does our strength comes from? Where does our confidence comes from? Of course, when you're in design education, being an expert in design is given. But there is another dimension to education, how learning takes place, and therefore how should one teach. When you join IIAD as a learner, you enter an already well-established ecosystem that optimizes learning for you even though it is online and remote. Our experience at IIAD gave us insights about the challenges of a learner, what works, what does not work. We've spent 2 years in the pandemic teaching remotely very intense curriculums. We have loads of notes and learnings from that period, which is all got transferred into the academic system at hand. Everybody thinks that if you are teaching online, all you have to do is open your laptop, put a presentation on screen share, and start sharing your knowledge and experience. And in this process, somehow the knowledge will get transferred to the learner. But learning is far more complex than that. You need to engage the learner actively into this. Now, what this requires is robust planning and a thoughtfully choreographed series of experiences that you take your learner through so that gradually that person starts becoming proficient in the skill, knowledge, understanding. For meaningful learning to happen, a teacher needs to bring together content knowledge and pedagogical knowledge. Our experience at IIAD gave us insights about the challenges of a learner, what works, what does not work. We've spent 2 years in the pandemic teaching remotely very intense curriculums. We have loads of notes and learnings from that period, which is all got transferred into the academic system at hand. Everybody thinks that if you're teaching online, all you need to do is open your laptop, put your presentation on screen share, and start sharing your knowledge and experience. Now, all the SAR experiences of online learning have told us that this does not work. Learning is a far more complex process. You need to engage the learner actively into this. Now, what this requires is robust planning and a thoughtfully choreographed series of experiences that you take your learner through so that gradually that person starts becoming proficient in the skill, knowledge, understanding. Our work at IIAD is deeply rooted in research in learning, how people learn, and therefore what needs to be done to ensure that learning is effective, long-lasting, and optimized.
In the interior design course, we set up briefs very carefully to mimic real-world challenges. For example, in the residential design, we ask our students to actually go out and find real-life clients and real sites as well. The idea is that as the module progresses, the student interacts with the clients and gets their feedback to incorporate into the design process altogether. This helps in the selection of accessories, products, material selections, and only enriches the design process at the end. We actually use demo projects to introduce new concepts. So a student at any given point in time undertakes 2 projects, a demo project as well as their own project. The learners then go on to put their work on Miro, which is basically like a virtual pin-up board space where everybody can view each other's work. There's constant feedback that can be given not only from the faculty but also from peers. The other software we use in the course is also Kuhum, which is a 3D modeling software which helps us with visualizations for our projects.
So in a design school, what you actually do is, you sit together and work with your peers. You'll carry your laptop and your rough sketches and sheets of paper to your instructor for a quick feedback. To be able to replicate that experience, we use this virtual pin-up board called Miro, and what it does is you can keep putting up all your work in one place, and your peers and instructors can keep dropping by, so that your work is constantly being seen by other people. We also do a lot of peer reviews in our sessions, so that you're learning how to think critically, look at your own work as well as works of others in a critical light. It's a very efficient way to drop quick suggestions or feedback.
We have people who had studied design in various disciplines, so a fashion designer, an architect, an interior designer, somebody who studied graphic design, but now wants to understand UX in further detail. We also have people from a tech background, BTechs, coders who want to now be part of the creative process of UX. We also have people who have previously worked in sales or digital marketing space, but want to upskill themselves and get into the user experience of an e-commerce site that they work on. So really, if you enjoy solving problems, and if you enjoy the digital product space and want to be part of the creative process, then you could think about user experience design as a career pathway.
Anybody who is observant can undertake this course. You could be from a design background, be it fashion, graphic design, any other allied field as well. For example, civil engineering, electrical engineering. What is important is we kind of tap into the creative side of design, and if you're looking to make that switch in your career at any stage, you could, if you wanted to move from product to the service industry, to be a great idea to do this course. Any past experience or knowledge is an asset that will help you build on this course, and you'll be able to take this forward.
So, we've had people who have been from very, very different backgrounds, from different places in the country, of different age groups as well. So we've had people who've studied visual arts before, have even done their masters in visual arts, but now want to move to graphic design as a practice. We have people from another discipline who have had no connection with design before. So we've had people who've studied English literature, BCom, even BTech, who have worked as a marketeer in the industry. So they've worked with designers before and have seen the kind of work that they do, so are hence attracted to learning design themselves. We've also had people who have been working in the industry already as a graphic designer, but they have been self-taught, and so they are sometimes an expert with the software but not really with the creative side of things, the thinking side of things. So to be able to tend to such a diverse range of people, the course really starts at the very fundamentals of visual design and then builds up to more complex or specialized areas of practice.